All right. So, moving on to our next Patreon request, and this one comes from John McKinney, who asked me to do 10 of the most overrated Disney villains. Now, couple things. This list is going to be very subjective, obviously. And I'm well aware that saying a Disney villain of all things is overblown or overrated. Some of these villains I have on this list are going to be what I consider overrated, but there are going to be others because there weren't really a lot of them where I thought they were overrated per se. A lot of them were like overblown or boring, I should say. But there are some I would consider overrated. But before we go into the list, as always, just keep in mind this is just my personal opinion. If you think a villain should be on this list or not, that's totally fine. I'm always excited to hear your thoughts on the matter. And as always, before we also, if you guys would like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link in the description box below. Head on over to my Patreon, hit the third tier. That'll allow you access to do so, as well as check out all the other videos on the other tiers as well. Anyway, let's get started. I'm going to start with someone who I wouldn't really consider a villain at all, and that's Amos Slade from Fox and the Hound. That guy, he's just like, I know people consider Amos Slade a hunter, but really, I mean, consider him a villain, but like, is he though? I never, even as a kid, I'm like, this guy's not evil. He's just a crotchety old man. That's really it. Did you see like he never like he was never cruel to the dogs. He did discipline, Copper, but like, yeah, like he loved his dog. A dude loved his dogs and just wanted to hunt, and yeah, and he wasn't like trying to. And yeah, it's a fox. It's a vermin animal. I mean, no, I know we love Todd. That movie will break your heart. Don't get me wrong, but like, Amos was just not a villain. He's just he's a jerk at most. Like, that was my whole thing. I was like, he's not a villain. He's just an asshole. There's a massive difference between being a villain and an asshole. And even then, he was just like, at the end of the movie, he was just had his leg banged up after he got his shit rocked by that bear. And at the end, we see him just kind of like with a broken leg and just being crotchety about it. He's not a dick. He's just a dick. And I mean, come on. Did you ever see, like, as far as I remember, because to be fair, it has been a while since I've seen the movie, but like, did you ever see him like hit the dogs, like Copper and Chief? Did you ever see him like beat on them, or be mean to them? No. He's singing about how awesome his dogs are in one. I mean, yeah, he killed a lot of animals, but like, dude's living out in the Ozarks, and I don't see him like going to Walmart or anything. So yeah, man's got to eat. I've always been and this is kind of a personal thing. I've always been a proponent to hunting. Sports hunting is one thing, which I'm not really a big fan of. As long as you're eating what you kill, I'm totally fine with it. And yeah, he was selling the furs, but that's business. That's like back then. This is like 1920s still, like by my estimate, my guesstimations right there. I would dare say that the dude's probably making a living being a fur trader, as well as just eating the meat and making jerky out of it. That's not a crime. That's just a dude trying to live. So yeah, Amos Slade, not really I think he's overrated as a villain because he's not really a villain. He's just a dude. And if yeah, I imagine like he'd be a dick to you if you like if you're like in his town and you're in the same vicinity as him, getting stuff at the local ma and pa store, and he's just like, whatever. But I imagine 8 out of 10 of those times he's probably just going to acknowledge you with a hello and be done, and that's going to be the end of your conversation with him. Yeah, he's just going to be like, hello, hand me that jerky right there, son. Like, you got goes on his way. That's it. I don't know why I made this so long, but like, I have to like tell you guys, it's overblown. It's more not so much overrated as it is overblown. Anyway, next up, and this one might get me in trouble, Yzma. Yzma, I think, is overrated as a villain. Why, you may ask? It's mostly because, think about it. No, really think about it. Do you like this movie because of Yzma the villain? And yeah, she's the one who makes, Cusco a llama and takes over the kingdom and all that. And yeah, we having oh God, what's her name? One of the most iconic female black voice actresses, as well as Eartha Kitt. Thank you. Oh God, Eartha Kitt. Having Eartha Kitt as your voice is awesome, but like she doesn't really do anything other than she's old and she's evil. There's nothing there. And before you say anything, but the memes though, do you really think there's any Yzma memes out there, or is it all Krunk? Yeah, think about it. Do you like that the villains? Because who do you think of when I say antagonists in Emperor's New Groove? Did you think Krunk first? Yeah, you did. Yeah. Anyway, moving on now to Oogie Boogie. Now I like Nightmare Before Christmas, but Oogie Boogie I think is a little overblown as a villain because he doesn't really have a he in no way, shape, or form has a plan. He's just, I'm going to be the sudden antagonist now and be a villain. And I don't really have a plan to be like, he doesn't say anything about wanting to be the Pumpkin King or take over Halloween Town. He's just like, I'm evil and I've got a badass song. And we can't deny the Oogie Boogie song is a slapper. But still, like, it's like Disney needed a villain and they're just like, well, throw in a bag of bugs. Yeah. We need this is the Disney heyday. We need like a villain. We need like an antagonist. So, Tim Burton put a villain in there. He's like, okay, bag of bugs. And don't get me wrong, I like Oogie Boogie. Do not get it twisted. I like Oogie Boogie, but even I am like, I feel like he's just kind of, his stats are overblown, if you know what I mean. Anyway, moving on to another, I wouldn't say like overrated, just kind of like a boring villain. And that's Madame Medusa from the first Rescuers. Let's all be real. The first Rescuers movie, I forget constantly is a Disney movie, let alone a movie in general. Because when I say Rescuers, what movie do you think of first, huh? Did you say Rescuers Down Under? Because I'm pretty sure you did. Anyway, yeah, I totally think that Madame Medusa is just kind of a boring villain. And her plan isn't really that smart either. I mean, yeah, she's really evil to this girl, and she has like 2 croc like pets, but other than that, there's really nothing to her. Like that whole movie in general is just kind of boring to begin with. So yeah. Anyway, let's talk. Now we get into a real what I consider to be a really overblown, not overblown, but overrated villain. And I was talking about that with Oogie, even though I like Oogie, but yeah, let's talk about this villain right here. Lady Tremaine. Lady Tremaine from Cinderella is arguably, her and another villain I'm going to talk about later are like the definition of overhyped Disney villains. Because Lady Tremaine could just easily be beaten by like a child care services villain. Child care services. Like that's it. I mean, yeah, is she cruel to Cinderella? Yes. But like, that's it. Like, there's no, like, yeah, she could have easily gotten the stepsisters to marry the prince and all that, but like the marriage would have been like over in a month. So what was the plan here? On top of that, she's just kind of mean mugs everyone. And I know, and also Mother Gothel did the whole evil stepmother thing way better, because that, I guarantee you, like, you're probably having more of a trauma response to Mother Gothel than you are Lady Tremaine. Not to say there are Lady Tremaines aren't in the world, that there's no doubt there are. Don't get it twisted. But like, I'm just saying, like, Disney did this whole thing better with Gothel than they did Tremaine. It's just me though. Now comes to an interesting one. Gideon, and yes, I have had these all written down just so I wouldn't forget them. But yeah, the next one on this list is Gideon Gleeful. Now, Gideon Gleeful was kind of the first real villain in Gravity Falls. The reason why I think he's kind of overblown is because once we get over those first like episode, and yeah, I think he's overrated as a villain because everything he does is kind of Bill's machinations in the long run. He's more of a like a stepping stone, if anything else. I like Gideon. Don't get me wrong, but like, I think he's a little overblown. Yes, he did use a giant Gideon mech suit to wreck house, but after season 2, aside from a few other things, it's more Bill's machinations than anything else, and he's more of a stepping stone. So yeah, I really don't see Gideon as the major force of evil in Gravity Falls. So So let's talk about there's one on the list. I'm gonna save that one for last because I know that one's gonna cause a holler. Let's talk about Honest John. Honest John is, again, to me, he is bad. Don't get me wrong, but he's a con artist. He's cruel. Not cruel. He's just trying to make a quick buck. And for him and Gideon, not the Gideon I just talked about, his sidekick Gideon and Honest John, to me, were more like they're just kind of looking to make money. And yes, it is at the expense of Pinocchio. But, like, at the same time, even they know shit's fucked. Like, remember when you were watching the movie for the first time and they're, like, drinking with the coachman, and they're just kind of like, dude, you're a little scary. Like, they understand all of a sudden that, like, oh no, this guy's really bad. Like, they have an understanding of, do they still, like, screw Pinocchio over? They do, but, like, they're not real. They are bad guys, and I imagine, like, but think about it. Really think about it. How many times have we run into characters who are just kind of like these like these guys trying to make a quick buck and hanging out with with the characters and also steering them the wrong way for their own interests? How many characters can you name that you like as like that? Like, because I guarantee you've probably had dialogue conversations with them in video games. Yeah, they're probably in your team too. They're in your party as well. Honest John he is a bad guy, but he's not a bad guy, to turn a phrase from Wreck-It Ralph. All right, so the last three villains are going to be big because they're I think they're overhyped, but everyone else is going to have a problem with it. I guarantee you everyone else watching this is going to have a major problem. And keep in mind, this is just my personal opinion, so let's keep that in mind. So first off, we're going to go with Gaston, right out the gate. Gaston, I think, is overblown as a villain. He's just a hunter, and I know I just gave all this defense to Amos, but, like, Gaston's just an asshole, and he's just cruel, but also there's no real plan for him. Like, he's not really, like, a credible threat. It's only, like, the Beast could have folded him like a lawn chair had it not been he had changed his heart and all that, and was just depressed that Belle wasn't there. But the moment Belle showed up, Beast went full, Beast mode. And if your hero can take out your villain that fast with just, my dick went hard, you're dead now, he's not really a threat. So yeah. Also, if you've seen concept art of Gaston, he was meant to be like this snobbish French aristocrat, apparently, which would have been arguably worse if you ask me. I think Gaston is it's more like he can whip people up into a fervor, but even then they all got their ass beat. The mob in general got their ass kicked by furniture. Yeah. Anyway, next up, the Evil Queen. I never thought the Evil Queen was a major villain. I always thought the Evil Queen was overhyped. Like, I always had that thought of the Evil Queen is just all hype. And yeah, it's cool aesthetics and all that, but what does she do? Why is she angry? Because Snow White's hotter than her. And I'm kind of the mindset of, like, that's it? You're just basing your whole evil plot after, like, a subplot in Real Housewives of Atlanta? Cool. Yeah, I don't, like, I am of the mindset of this is just even as a kid, I was like, this is so weak. Like, this is such a weak idea. And it never really occurred to me that like, how much people love the Evil Queen. Like, she doesn't even have a name. She's just called the Evil Queen. Right? Like, even that's the other thing. I'm like, she has a name, unless she was born the Evil Queen. I don't know. Yeah. And now we come to our 10th and final overhyped villain. And here's where I think the real floodgates are going to open. It's Maleficent. Now, keep in mind, I like Maleficent as a villain, but I think she's a little overhyped. And yes, her whole thing of, like, killing or putting Aurora in a death-like sleep is just for the sake of being a petty bitch is awesome, but like at the same time, I feel like it's kind of weak. And also, when you really think about it, she's more interesting as an aesthetic character. And all the other stuff you're about to... I know someone in the comments is about to type all this stuff about, oh, but she did this, this, and this. Yeah, in Kingdom Hearts. In extended lore. See what I'm saying? Like, not if we're going to go predicate it by the movie, her whole evil plan was just, I'm going to make this person die / deathless sleep, and then I'm just going to go chill out at my castle and revel in my crapulence for all eternity. No taking over the kingdom further, and then you damage her even the whole evil persona thing even further with the 2 god-awful Maleficent movies. I don't understand Hollywood's whole thing of making villains heroes or anti-heroes. Sometimes we just want to watch bad people. Like, it wouldn't hurt to see a villain be villain. You know what I mean? Anyway, so there you go. Those are my controversial hot takes on Disney villains who I think are overhyped. But yeah, I want to thank John McKinney for this Patreon request. And like I said, what are your what are your 10 overhyped villains for you? Like I said, if you think a villain should be on here or not, it's totally fine. I'm always excited to hear what you guys have to say. But yeah, just comment below, let me know. And once again, I'd like to thank John McKinney for this Patreon request, as well as continued patronage. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.